Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sarah and this is my Pokemon Violet Pink Pokemon only playthrough. Now, I'm sure you think that's stupid or not very difficult, but it was. It was difficult because I decided to choose the pink Pokemon that were cute and cuddly instead of big and strong, but there aren't many big and strong pink Pokemon anyway. So this was a challenge no matter what for me because also I suck at Pokemon. So to start, I went ahead and chose Fuecoco because when you breed Fuecoco with Ditto, you get pink Fuecoco. And I figured I have to have at least one decent Pokemon on my team to get through this. And Skeledirge would be that one Pokemon. Or so I thought. But since we can't get a Ditto right off the bat, we have to wait to do some breeding. So instead of having a shiny Fuecoco, we are going to go catch a Hoppip as our placeholder Pokemon. Now Hoppip isn't exactly what we are looking for. It's not the best mon in the world. It's actually really not good at all. Especially because the one we caught had Splash and Tackle. But it'll have to do for now because it's pink and that's the challenge. Can't use Pokemon that aren't pink. So Hoppip is level 3 in this area, and I wanted to bring it up to at least 8 or 9 to make it usable. But as you'll see later, that didn't pan out either. So after a bit of auto battling, I met up with Nemona, who then had me give up my sandwich for Miraidon, and then which led me to reluctantly fight Arven. And after we beat Arven, I decided to just charge full steam ahead and go to school, get it over with. And Nemona throttled my poor Hoppip. Absolutely decimated this thing. So after I was done licking my wounds, which took a while, I made my way to school so we could finally find the first Pokemon of the hunt, which was Palmy. But Hoppip took another beating, this time from Team Star, and I figured I needed to level him up some more before I could actually continue, because he was just getting just decimated in every fight that was with a trainer. So after grinding a few levels, I learned how to Terastallize, and I beat both Team Star grunts. Once I was done with school and on the way to finding my treasure, I brought a meal from the local Go for Broke grill and got to hunting Palmy. After buying multiple meals from said Go for Broke grill and running around Poco Path for hours on end, I finally found my first shiny. In an M. Night Shyamalan style twist, my first shiny was Hoppip. Yep, I know. Once my disappointment faded, I remembered that both of Hoppip's evolutions were pink, and that maybe this wasn't so bad. Maybe I could work with this. I named him Casper, which I would definitely change later, and decided it was time for some surprise trades, hoping against hope to get a foreign Ditto. I got a Japanese Skeledirge, which was okay. We were happy about that. And once I got tired of trading, I went off to find the next member of my team, Tinkatink. Because I'm an idiot, I ran into that shiny Pokemon, and Hoppip got its ass kicked again. After reviving him for the very last time, I found Betty, the Tinkatink. Unsure of what my team will consist of, I go and catch a Flamigo, which I name Amigo. Unfortunately for our new Amigo, he will not last long. I decided to head back to Mesagoza and restart my Palmy hunt, hoping to find it before I go broke, as I've been buying meal after meal after meal and spending all my money. After about 6 hours of shiny hunting in total, I finally find the baby. I name him Kellen, and we're off to level up. After some grinding, Kellen evolved into a Palmo. And once we leveled up some, I hit the first gym, which Betty took care of because Kellen was weak and Casper was still green, which means I couldn't use him yet. It was a drawn-out fight, but a win is a win. Somewhere along the way, I renamed Casper to Roman, and after Kellen and Betty took care of the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth, he evolved, finally becoming a usable member of the team as a Skiploom. After a long time of off-screen surprise trading, I finally acquired a Ditto, which also just so happened to be shiny. Thanks, FreePoke.net. On the 187th egg, Rocco Jr. the Fuecoco was born. Welcome to the world, little one. You're going to be carrying this team on your back. Finally deciding on my 5th team member, I go hunting for Oricorio, who really did not want to get caught. Since she's red and we can't change her color to pink until we've beaten the 3rd gym, she'll have to sit in back and relax at the back of the team. Her name is Oreo, after my little niece. We head on to Gym 2 where we find a bunch of Sunflora, and we kick Brassius's ass with Roman. Right after our flawless victory, Rocco Jr. evolves into a Crocolore, giving him a cute little sombrero to add to his ensemble. Bombardier, the Open Sky Titan, was no match for Kellen, who is currently one of our weakest links, and Betty, who has been carrying the team on her tiny back. Roman was one-shotted instantly and could do nothing, so... After feasting with Arven, we're off to find our 6th and final team member. Shellos is our final friend, and her name is Amelie. With our new friend in tow, we head off to fight Team Star's Dark Squad. We wipe out 30 of their mons easily enough with Betty, Kellen, and Rocco Jr. Then it comes time to fight Giacomo. Betty goes out and does her best, having to be healed halfway through the battle with Rivaroom before getting KO'd. Kellen goes out and does a surprisingly huge chunk of damage to the Starmobile before also getting knocked out. Rocco Jr. comes in for the dub, and we're on to our next Team Star member. We made an attempt at Team Star Fire Squad, but we were quickly wiped out. Quickly. And the fact that Oreo was completely unusable due to her color was also a factor in this loss. After some grinding, Betty evolves into a Tinkatuff, Amelie evolves into a Gastrodon, and we're back on track to fighting Team Star. After a failed attempt at evolving Kellen, we head back to Team Star and fight Mela, who does not survive against Amelie, and we walk away with her badge. Once I make it to Levincia, Nemona wants to fight and stands no chance against the powers of Amelie and Rocco Jr. combined. Iono also fell to the might of Amelie, and we finally had our 3rd badge. First things first. Buy the pink nectar for Oreo. We switch Oreo to Hapau style, and we are ready to go. Once again, we go to Porto Marinada to try and evolve Kellen. This time we're successful, and now he's a slightly stronger Palmon, but not that much stronger. With our newly evolved team members, we head off to fight the lurking Steel Titan, Orthworm. Rocco Jr. makes him look like a joke, and Roman evolves into a Jump Bluff, bringing him to his ultimate and final form. We share a sandwich with Arven and head to the 4th gym in Cascarafa, where Kellen starts the fight and Roman finishes it. Afterwards, we head over to Team Star's Poison Base, where Yusuf takes a beating from Amelie, and Don Atticus shared the same fate, with Amelie doing most of the work and Kellen cleaning up after her. Once we got some grinding out of the way, we headed over to Medali, where we fought the gym trainers for a bit of extra XP, and then took on Larry, who fell victim to the all-powerful Kellen. Just kidding, he got KO'd and Betty took over as usual, until I revived him for Larry's final mon, Staraptor. After defeating Larry, Nemona steps up and wants the smoke too, so we light her ass up with Kellen, Betty, Amelie, and Rocco Jr. She doesn't stand a chance. Rocco Jr. evolves into Skeledirge before the next gym, and after some training, as does Betty into a Tinkaton. And we are well on our way to the Ghost Gym in Monte Navarra. We find a shiny friend who is now up for adoption. If you made it this far, you deserve a free shiny. Comment and subscribe if you'd like Crow the Murkrow on your team. Back on track. We do all the double battles to fire up the audience and then take on Rhyme, who falls to the combined powers of Rocco Jr., Betty, Kellen, and Amelie. Once I get my photo with Rhyme, I'm off to find and defeat Iron Treads, the Quaking Earth Titan. After Amelie wipes out the Donphan from the future, with some help from Arven, we have ourselves a sour sandwich, and then head over to gym number 7, the Psychic Gym. Of course, Nemona has to pick a fight with us, so we show her who's the boss with our pink squad and head over to do some emotional exercise before hitting up the gym leader, Tulip. Rocco Jr. leads the team this time, with Betty taking over soon after to secure another win for our cutely colored team. Right after, no breaks, we head over to the Ice Gym where Grusha is absolutely no match for Rocco Jr., who sings all of his mons to a permanent sleep. Now that all the gyms are out of the way, we only have to focus on Team Star and the remaining Titan Pokemon, which isn't so bad. It should be a quick cleanup. Our next stop is Team Star's Fairy Base, where Mr. Harrington takes a beating from Betty. The Fairy Squad leader Ortega is no pushover, and I had to use a revive or two to get through this fight, along with making a few sacrifices like Oreo. Rest in peace. After all was said and done, I got his Team Star badge and was off to fight Dondozo, the false dragon titan. Kellen and Betty handled the first fight, whereas Betty, Roman, and Kellen all took turns during the second round. Betty took over for the fight against Tetsugiri and made short work of him with the help of Arven's greeting. After taking down the last titan and having our spicy meal, we were off to finish Team Star. Except not quite. I didn't expect Team Star's fighting squad leader to be as hard as she was. She beat me 3 times before I finally got my revenge, where she still took out almost all of my team, save for Oreo. Oreo was the hero. That should be enough defeats for a while, right? Should be smooth sailing from here. Well, no. Director Clavel beat my ass twice before I said fuck it and went to the Elite Four. Rika was absolutely no match for my boy Roman, who took all of her mons out after she KO'd Amelie. Poppy was also not much of a challenge for Rocco Jr., who just torch-songed all her mons to death. Larry was a bit more challenging, having to switch between nearly all of my mons to finish him off. Oricorio proved to be a bit more difficult to kill than I originally thought, which I wish is the same to say about mine. Hassel was just as challenging, having me resort to sacrificing Oreo to heal Betty, despite the fact that she had felled one of his mighty dragons. It was finally time to fight the champion Gita. As expected, she was no pushover, taking out Rocco Jr. and Betty early on. Everyone had a little taste of the action, and we managed to pull through, defeating Gita and becoming champion ourselves. But it's not over yet, is it? No, I need to kick Director Clavel's ass once and for all. It went well until I went up against his Quaxaquavel, who nearly wiped out all of my Pokemon with his flamboyant ass. Oreo came in clutch, living with 3 HP and dancing her way to victory. Penny was less of a challenge than Director Clavel. Everyone got a taste of battle except for Oreo, and none of her evolutions were really a problem. Now we're in the end game. Arven's dad asks us to go to Area 0, so naturally we're down to die painful deaths to the hands of dangerous Pokemon. But first, Arven has his previously half-dead dog fight a champion-level team, which he actually defeats half of, and then we're off to fight our rival one last time. Amelie took care of Nemona's first 2 mons, Lycanroc and Palmet. Kellen got OKO'd by Dunsparce, and Oreo avenged him. Betty took out Gudra, and Rocco Jr. defeated her last 2 mons, Orthworm and Meowscarada. Once we finish off Nemona for good, we're off to Area 0, the final part of the game. We 4 finally meet up with some future Pokemon, defeating them all with the power of friendship, and face off against Professor Turo. I mean AI Turo. His future mons are no match for my brilliantly pink team, as one by one they fall. Butthurt by his loss, we go Legendary v Legendary, and mine comes out on top. And that's Pokemon Violet with only pink Pokemon, who I found to be rather weak despite me trying to pick the best that I could, while also staying cute and cuddly. Thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos coming soon.